you are not for that idea. That I'm not for the idea of the affordable housing.
No, I was just asking, are you for the idea?
I'm not for the idea.
Why not?
This is why I'm not for the idea. Housing is a private good. The role of the government is not to provide private goods to the citizens, but to provide an enabling environment for the citizens to come up with the private goods, to enjoy the private goods. Why should the government build you a house? I mean, what is the interest behind it? And number one, we are 55 million Kenyans.
But Babu, isn't it the same thing when you go for help?
Let me tell you something.
Because help, why should the government give these guys who've qualified to go to... Me, if I get my D, I'm not getting help. You get your B, you're getting help. Why are you getting help and I'm not getting it?
Let me
the same
tell
way
you
the
something.
affordable housing is going to be given to the people who cannot afford to buy the houses.
Uhuru was leaving, help had been expanded to even the private students in other colleges. But now Ruto has done away with it. So back to the affordable housing. There is no way you can fulfill construction of 55 million units for 55 million Kenyans. What will happen, Kibe, in my slums in Nyalenda, if they hear that in Nairobi there are houses which are being given to Nairobians, they will move from Nyalenda to Nairobi. The president told us that his intention is to kill slums, to destroy slums, and at least bring up houses that are going to be okay. But in essence, in economics, you are going to create what we call the dual economy, where there will be rural-urban migration. People will be migrating from the rural areas to the urban areas, knowing that they will be given houses. When they reach urban centers in Nairobi, they realize that they can't even afford that house that they were supposed to get. You are told that the deposit to pay for you to get a 2-bedroom is 300,000 Kenya shillings. How will a boda rider get that 300,000 Kenya shillings? And you need to pay rent where you are staying, you need to pay school fees, you need to pay other bills, you need to buy food. Number two, the moment people move to the urban centers to wait for houses, they will be sprouting up of more slums. And with more slums, there will be serious insecurity in urban centers. With insecurity, you know how that is detrimental to our economy. So generally, my brother Kibe, the president, either in his wisdom or lack of the same, he doesn't know what he's doing. Because clearly, you cannot tell people that you can give people houses. And remember, everybody is paying for the housing levy.
I want you to think like him.
Yes.
Why would he do this? Tell me now, he's just gotten the presidency and then he sits and decides, you know what, I have to give these guys this and this. What's going on in his mind?
I think this is a scheme to make money in terms of importation of raw materials, because again, whatever we are using to construct these houses are imported. Even cement. We were constructing the standard gauge railway here the other day. We were even importing human labor. The Chinese were working in Kenya instead of giving serious Kenyans jobs here to weld, to do welding, to get raw materials from here. Cement, why should we import cement if we can manufacture cement in Kenya? Now, how do these people make money? The dollar now is going high, right? The dollar is raised. The moment you do importation, you will pay using dollars. The moment you pay using dollars, that money leaks into other economies in other countries. Then that is where they get the kickbacks. They say, if I supply this material X, mine is 10, 20%.
They're getting kickbacks in dollars.
In dollars. And you see, that is why our dollar cannot stabilize now. It will stabilize at 200, according to my prediction as an actuary. It is going to be at 200. That is where we are going to attain the equilibrium. But all in all, Kibe, housing, the president, number one, is not managing this country well. He knew how to win this presidency because the end justifies the means. He had already won it. He's the one who's serving as the president. He had already done, he did what he did. So to us as politicians, the end justifies the means. But now, he doesn't know how to manage. So he's a good politician, but a poor manager. He knows nothing about management, and that's why he appointed cabinet secretaries who are very, 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 very ineffective.
I mean, but Moses Kuria is a brilliant man, come on.
Save for people like Moses Kuria. But look at 90% of that cabinet. Look at my great friend and my lecturer, my former lecturer, Professor Kindiki.
Yeah.
Look at that gentleman. He's being wasted in interior.
Where should he be?
He's interior, but people are bombing, are shooting people in Baringo. The next village, people are being killed. We need somebody with megalomania and valor in that position. So Kindiki could do better as a minister for education, or tourism, or even this one that Mudavadi is owning. I don't even know the names of these
foreign affairs.
Because foreign affairs, because these people are clueless. You see.
Who do rather Raila? I'm sorry, Ruto put there.
You know, security is a going concern, and for you to be a person who can perform that role well, give it to somebody like Matiang'i, give it to somebody like Michuki. Look at how different they were from Professor. Professor is very intellectual, which is good, because security, you need both intellectual acumen, and also you need that aura, that people, you need to be to be loved and feared
in equal measure. Yes. Because there was that aura about Matiang'i. You felt like he could just call Chinkororo any time on you know. Yeah. So, I mean, give me a name. Who would you rather we replace, Kindiki with?
Kenya, we have 55 million Kenyans.
Oh, but Nani, Ruto had to pick somebody who is his buddy.
But you see, no, it's not about his body. That is now the problem we come in. In Kenya, there are two greatest problems we are facing. One is corruption, okay, from the top leadership. Number two is what we call the patrimonialism, where you favor your people, you hold yourself as a king, and you need to be served, and people think that they deserve getting what they have by appointing the useless ministers in these positions, and then they think that they are owed by the president. You see, that is a big problem, because you will always do something to please these keys to power, and these keys to power that you are pleasing, they don't add any value. They don't add any value. So, in appointment of an interior cabinet secretary, it is not my role as a person in opposition. The more mistakes he makes, the better for me. But it is too sad for Kenyans, and for that matter, under the doctrine of separation of powers, checks and balances, we must keep him on check so that Kenyans get what they deserve.
So, in this case, we're talking about the president.
Yes. So he knows what he should do. So which means if he takes somebody who is not delivering in that ministry and cannot change them, which means that he's himself designing this system to fail.
Don't you think he's dealing with an impossible group of people to please because of all the MOUs and agreements he had before he got into power?
You know, a leader should not overpromise. And Kibe, too much ambition destroyeth a man. However, too little takes him nowhere. As a leader, he ought not to have been overambitious to want to be the president if he knew that he was not going to deliver in that. The moment you get into presidency, you know what you should do. You should not be told what to do, because you are the leader, you are the boss. You need to know. You need to lead. You need not to rule. And in his situation, what is happening in our country is that as a president, he won elections, whether fraudulently or not fraudulently, is there as the president, but the problem is management is a problem. If he knows that he has so many promises that he made, first of all, why would you make those promises as a leader? A leader is known by his word. Your word is your bond. Therefore, you should be tied by your word. And you should not be known to be a leader who lies. And he can as well lie to those